is you, you. All I want is you. All I
Happy
want is
birthday
you. All I
to
want is
me.
you.
Happy birthday
All I want is you.
to me.
All I
Thank
want
you,
is you.
Jesus.
'Cause you are forever. And your love.
Good afternoon. Good morning to some. It's me. And let's get right into it. Let's get facing on. Yep. Don't talk about me, talk about your mama. Alright. Um Basically the topic is hurt part two. And I wanted to get more into it with this. And more of the perception of allowing, making yourself available, value, fears, many different topics, but they all intertwine to affecting your, influencing your decisions and how you get hurt. For example, I'm a true believer that life has its lessons. I don't believe that God puts you in a place without you supposed to get something out of it, and it's connected to the bigger purpose of why you're even on earth. That's my true belief. For me, the words that I just mentioned, fear and etc., all of those played a big role when it comes to my perception of getting hurt. Being too loyal, fear of being alone, accepting just anything, even to the point of desperation of wanting to be loved. Been there before too. It sets you up to a place where getting hurt. Now, understanding the importance of hurt and pain. Some people focus more on such the good thing they don't understand those uncomfortable, painful feelings at times has its purpose as well. For instance, I was in a relationship with someone and I knew that it was just not, and let's just say it was one of those on and off things and it kept being in the gray area, yada yada, whatever. And they were already kind of involved with someone, whatever, but me being there for them got my emotions caught up, yada yada. It's a long story. But overall, I set myself up for that hurt because I already knew the details from the beginning. And my fear of being alone and wanting someone to love me and etc. led me to a place of allowing someone to break me and allowing someone to bruise me, emotionally abuse me, because I was more so focused on getting something from them that I felt like I needed to avoid being feel instead of stepping back and looking at the whole picture. Sometimes we allow those things, those fears and those desperations to lead us into places that we do not want to be in. When it comes to being hurt in that way, you have to learn to take the responsibility of the fact that you did that to yourself, that you kind of set yourself up. I mean, let's just be real. We've all done it. You led yourself into a situation that could have been avoided, but you still wanted to. You seen red flags, yada yada. So, with that hurt, what do you do with it? Now that you don't let go and so and so, what do you do with that broken heart? What do you do with those feelings and that void still being there, nothing to substitute? What do you do with that? Me personally, my relationship with God. Because eventually you get tired. You get tired of that same cycle. And trust me, it becomes a cycle. You don't change the way you do things until you make the conscious decision to be like, yo, I can't do this. I cannot do this anymore because this is my life. I only have one, and I'll never be 25 again. I'll never be 30 again. Once this time is gone, it's gone. So I have to make conscious decisions. I'm like, do I really want better for myself? And that takes me to the word of value. How do you value you? How do you sacrifice yourself easily? Sacrifice your time and your efforts to people but you don't do it for yourself. Don't get me wrong, we get caught up in life and work and children, etc. But have you literally take the time out to realize that you are literally the example that people watch? People that you don't know, people that you do know, loved ones, friends, etc. Sometimes people are lost on how to do certain things, and they see how you do it, and they either learn from it or learn not to do it. So do you want to be that example of what not to do or what to do or something to try? Me personally, my relationship with Christ, my relationship with God is what really led me into wanting to be changed, and what started changing me, to be honest. Because I realized him being my creator, understanding myself more, is basically throughout life receiving the instructions of why I was created throughout my journey as he revealed them to me. It's the same thing with a manufacturer who manufactures different items. They create the instructions, they create, they put the labels on what was made for, etc., etc. But spiritual wise, it's more so is revealing more and more. Because even so, if God showed you a visual of who you want to be, or who he created you to be, and we look at who we are now, we'll be like, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? But for me, it was more so like, don't get me wrong, I had my moments of like, how in the world is that even gonna happen? And I've seen visuals of myself, I'm like, okay. But then I was like, it got to the point, like, either you have to make the choice, do you want to get to that? Continue your journey, continue that relationship with God, and continue on and on. Like I say, it's more so of the value. Learning my value within him is dealing with the revelations of my journey, self-identification, self-efficacy, taking the time to accept me. When I mention value, because when you don't value yourself, you are more likely to put yourself in situations to get hurt. And then you play the blame game. They did this and they did that, and you don't take the responsibility of the fact that you didn't take the time out to love you, and you didn't take the time out to really look at the situation before you stepped in it. Because truth be told, you had other motives than just having a person to love and give yourself to. There's a reason why you want to give yourself to that person. There's a reason why you're throwing yourself into that. There's a reason why, and it's a selfish reason. Let's be real. I've been there, being in relationships, involving myself with people, and because I want the best for them and so, and all I want back is this and that. We've been there as well. This is a little different when you don't value yourself. You put yourself in more hurtful situations. When you do value yourself, it's like, say for instance, I find it interesting that if you had $1 million in your hand right now, $1 million, cool meal, okay, you will not just hand it to someone. You would hand it to someone like you just met within that week. You wouldn't. But you would hand yourself to a person that you've known for about 30 days. You find $1 million more valuable than you. Why? Why? Why is that okay? Why is something that's perishable, that comes and goes all the time, is more important than the person you've been with all your life is yourself? Value. Once you begin to value yourself and you realize, treat yourself like that $1 million, that $100 million, that precious jewel, and you'll find yourself in less hurtful situations, less heartbreaking situations to avoid, because you won't step into something blindsided. You won't step into something and you think you know what's about and avoid red flags. And honestly, sometimes it goes along with age. I realize sometimes it's really based on the person, because I know older people who still in the same cycle. Veering to fear. Fear of loneliness. Fear of loneliness will have you attaching to people. Goodness will. Sometimes fear of loneliness have you attaching to people who fear loneliness. And when you have two people who are their true motive of connecting with you, besides the usual, oh yeah, we get along, yada yada, whatever, but the truth is, I want to keep you around no matter what, because you make me feel like I have someone and I'm not lonely. And I don't want to be alone for whatever reasons. Everybody has a different life background, so I can't really speak on that. For me, I didn't want to be alone because it's hard. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it. I didn't like being alone with myself because I would have to deal with me. Like I said, I can only speak for myself. My thing was I would have to face why I was like that. And me being an analytical, observant person, a person who's huge on self-inventory, involving myself with somebody and getting attached and wearing my heart on my sleeve, I will put all of that energy into that person and not into myself. Therefore, instead of investing into myself when God has put me in a season to invest in myself, I'm all off track. So therefore, the person will continue to hurt me until I let go. And some people say, oh, God allowed a person to hurt you until you let go, yada yada. Sometimes God, honestly, I truly believe for me, God throws you the warning signs. Hey, don't go this way, don't go this way, because I know the person will hurt you. But we have that free will. We make the decision, and then they will continue to be hurtful, and next thing you know, we're getting hurt, and then we don't let go. Me, if anybody like me, I was too loyal, so person come back with their apologies or knocking on my door and the sorries and wanting to speak to me and throwing these little pawns and game manipulation and I spot it all. That's not the game. I will empathize with them. Like, I saw it as, wow, it's sad that you feel like you have to do all of that in order to have someone around you. Or if a person felt alone, well, I want to let you know you're not alone in all of this, but I've had to learn boundaries. I've had to learn that it's okay to be alone and not lonely. You can be not lonely. Take the time for yourself, and you'll find a peace that's amazing. And God will bring people in your life that's so beautiful and so amazing. But He doesn't really let that come about until you are amazing to you or becoming more amazing to you, until you are really starting to fall for yourself, and of course because you started to fall for Him, and being revealed that you are important, that you do matter, that someone loves you, and you care, and someone cares for you, and the way that you are. Don't demonize yourself for having a good heart. Don't demonize yourself for being loyal. Don't demonize yourself for wanting someone to love you. That's okay. That's human. But how you go about it, and check your motives. You're too valuable to just keep giving yourself to people that don't deserve you. Giving your time to people that don't really care about your time. Like, let's just be real. Don't really care about your boundaries. Don't really care about your growth. And when people come about selfishly because they know that they're hurting you, but they still want to stay in your life because it's for the selfish reasons. It's not a concern about you. It's a concern for, well, I don't want to be alone. And let's be real. We can be in those same shoes. We can know that we're starting to hurt that person too, because hurting people hurt people after a while. If you're starting to be more and more hurt, the more and more damage you become. Me personally, usually when I was messed up on the inside and angry, I will verbalize real bad. I will attack. I will cut with my words, and I would get so mad because I attached myself to someone that was just hurting me but saying they love me at the same time. To me, that is the perfect ingredients of toxic. Perfect ingredients of toxic. If it's a consistent of the same cycle, they feel like they don't have to change because obviously they're not gonna lose you, even though you may have walked off and whatever the case. They just think that, well, I'm gonna just give you your time, but I'm not going anywhere type stuff. It's time to level up. It's time to do better. I had to say this to myself. I can't do what I used to do. I can't be with a person how it was. I had to go back to, here's another thing on how to avoid get into hurtful situations. Know what you want and stick to it no matter what. I don't care how amazing, I don't care how cool, I don't care how connection, whatever the case. If certain stuff on the list that you like, I can't cross this one. This one is a deal breaker for me. I need this in a relationship. I need this in the friendship. I need this if I call you my sister, my brother. If not, do not settle. Because you are the only one who will end up hurt. Therefore, you're putting someone else wants and desires before you. And I promise you, they're not doing the same. And it's because they're not, if they were doing the same, they would have to go about with changes to fit what you actually want. And then vice versa. Then, okay, it's an equal trade, but that is extremely highly rare. Know what you want. Stick to your guns. Don't compromise those. Because that's the only true way you'll be happy. Accept the true you. Accept the fact that you have flaws and all and love you regardless. Because it's crazy how we want someone to put up with us. We don't want to put up with ourselves. It's crazy how we want someone to love us deeply, but we don't love ourselves deep enough to take care of ourselves, to value ourselves. And then you end up with people who don't value you, but it's just a direct reflection of how you value yourself. That's how we get set up. Being hurt. The fears, the lack of value, the desperations. And usually desperations go about and you get seeking and looking for something that you don't need to be looking for right now. You got this one desire that's burning. You need to step back and ask why. Instead of trying to fulfill it all the time, ask why, the reason why it's there. And for me personally, God fulfills that for me. Now, I know a person does not complete me, but I do feel that whoever I end up with will love me for me because I love me for me. And I will not accept anybody who's trying to change me, who want to critique me all the time, who think I should be this and that, who put this whole image in their head of how they think I should be and try to push me towards it. None of that. I'm me, and I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with my journey, the slip-ups and the moments of taking flight. I'm fine with all of that. Be fine with it. Make peace with it. It's okay, even when it gets cloudy in your life and it's hard. It's okay, even when you go through hurts of having to let people go, losing people that you thought always be there. It's okay. Cry your tears. Move on. Some hurts that you can't avoid. That's a different type. Some hurts come along. It's because of growth. Be happy that you're growing. Because usually a big sign is when you're no longer connecting with people that you used to connect with. Like, you find out, if you had friends that drink all the time, day to night. There was some people years ago that I used to be cool with, if they all wanted to go out, whatever. That's what it was about. It was just like a crew just to head out, have fun. But they drank all the time. It wasn't like, I was like, I can't, I'm not alcoholic, I couldn't connect with them. And then they would try to get the pressures of, I see you didn't drink and yada yada. No. Then maybe back then, here and there on a weekend, but back then, it's like, nah, I can't, nah. It's just not for me. When you start to become more into you and start to value yourself, People can't pressure you to be something that you don't want to be, because you're telling me to alter something that I value. They say, oh, go take that $1 million and just take this little piece from it and, put this 10% here and do that, whatever. You're like, no, you're not going to tell me what to do with my money. You're not going to tell me what to do with me. If I say no, I say no. Simple. You have an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? I respect you. Make your decisions, I make mine. That's with a value party. That's where you can avoid the desperation and where you can avoid the situations that you willingly put yourself in. And you have to really stop and take time to know what you want. And if that's not reflecting the situation you're about to step in, leave it alone. It's not worth it. A person's not worth it. That job's not worth it. That career switch is not worth it. That whatever. Family member not worth it. Because people who blood related will hurt you the worst. People like, oh yeah, I'm going to ride with him regardless. That's my brother. That's my sister. Yada yada. Bruh and sister ain't beneficial. But they unhealthy. You understand? Or we don't communicate well, but we click like this, blah, blah, blah. It's not worth it. I'm not saying throw people away. That's not my aim, okay? What I'm saying is, if something's holding on to you or certain people holding on to you and it's bringing you down, baby, you have one life. It is hurting you and you are allowing it. Let it go. And no, easier said than done, but we're not talking about difficulty level. We're talking about, is it worth it or not? Ask yourself, the situation that you're in right now, is it worth it? If not, get up or make a plan to get out. That's it. This is your life. Do you want to see yourself 20 years down the road in the same type of situation that you're in? Ask yourself that. If the answer is no, then you already know what you got to do. You're tired of hurting. But here's the whole reason why I'm saying this. You're tired of hurting yourself. It's really not the people. Because people are going to be people. You're tired of putting yourself in situations that you know goodness well. It's not worth it. You need to find out why. Go on that journey with yourself. Write and pray and talk with God. Grow that relationship. Ask Him to reveal what's going on with you and to heal those broken pieces that connect with other people's broken pieces. It doesn't make a whole, but it eventually makes you more of a broken person. And you don't want that. What do you want to be? Do you want to be whole? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be healed? Do you want to be filled with joy? Or do you want the life that you never thought you would be, and you thought you would be further, you thought you would be this and that? What do you want and why? Your life has purpose. It's bigger than you. There's people connected to you that need to see you prosper, that need to see you heal, and so you can inspire others and say, wow, I remember when she went through, or I remember when she shared her story, or he shared his story, and now, look at them now. They look, it's a light about them. It's this and that. Do you want that? Do you really want to be better, or you just want to be happy for the moment? Ask yourself that. Are you really tired of hurting? Are you tired? If so, it's time to switch it up. But that's how I want to end that. That's the part 2 of hurt. Value yourself. It's okay that you're not going to ever be perfect, but you are worth the fight. You are worth the prayers. You are worth the love and the hugs, and you are worth so much more. You have to believe that, though. I love you. You have a beautiful day. I'm out. Subscribe. Share with your friends. Comment, like, whatever the case. Email is connected to it all right?
I wanna do what you like. I wanna do what you like. I wanna wanna do what you like. I wanna do what you like. When you do what you like, I know it will be right, yeah.
I wanna do what you like. I wanna do what you like.